Hi there. Thanks for being here. My name is Tamara Dorris, and I'm super excited to show you the AO scanner and what it can do for you. Now, first of all, I want to point out that I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical, and I don't diagnose and heal medical. This is all frequency work, energy work. You could call it spiritual work if you want, but I've been in this game a long time, and I'm telling you it works for a lot of things, okay? But I want to clarify first of all what radionics is before we get into this, because the clip I'm going to show you, I talk about giving a voice sample. Well, that's part of what makes this particular unit that I use so powerful, is that it adds in a voice sample. And you know, your voice is very unique, and it can tell us a lot about mind, body, spirit, what's going on in all different, your physical, your mental, your emotional, your energetic fields, which is really, really important. But I want to clarify, first of all, traditional radionics, something that's been around for, over 100 years, which I'm a practitioner of as well. It's not digital, it's electronic, but the point is that radionics doesn't even need a voice. I can put a picture of you in what's called a witness well, or even just your name. But I like to use a picture and your name and your birthday, and I put it in the witness well, and that's all I need to be able to tune, like a radio dial, tune into your frequency and be able to do an analysis, not a diagnosis, but an analysis, and see where your energy's off and different ways that we can raise it. And we can also use it for intentions, like say, maybe I need to win a court case, or maybe my crops are, it's used in agriculture a lot. Maybe my crops need to have a higher yield. Whatever the case is, whatever the intention is, whatever the issue that we're trying to resolve or perhaps attract, we can use with traditional radionics. But this is different. This is the AO scanner, and I have been using this. I do probably, 5 to 7 scans a day. And what it's done is it's taken traditional radionics, it's added the voice feature for even deeper in some senses, but automated, much faster using the digital version. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a die-hard traditional radionics fan. I will use this forever, as long as I'm living, because I love radionics and how it works. But the fact that the AO scanner offers so many benefits, and it's so much faster, and I can help so many more people in one day versus my traditional radionics. So I use both of them, but this particular video is to show you a very, very easy entryway to work with me. And if you just get the scan and the report that I offer you, and that's all you need or want, good to go. No hard sales, no, self-promotion, please do more, sign up for more. But listen, here's the truth. If you don't have what you want in your life, you cannot just approach it from a physical, because when we go for things physically, that's working matter to matter, right? We live in an energetic universe, so matter to matter is definitely not the most efficient or effective. It works, but it also wears you out, and it doesn't get you as quick results as if you incorporate mind, body, spirit. And so when I say body, remember that all of your mindset, all of your beliefs, all of your unconscious messages that have been coming through for years, including trauma and stress and all the things that have happened to you, that lands in your body, because your unconscious is your body. And so it gets embedded in your nervous system. So if you're operating with a dysfunctional nervous system, which most people are, I scan people every day, and most everyone has some form of nervous system dysregulation. And your mindset is seemingly set in stone, and your beliefs and your unconscious messages are keeping you stuck, whether it's with a physical condition or just stress. And my specialty is working with women with dysregulated nervous systems, but they're all working towards abundance and business building. So I'm not a naturopath, I'm not a doctor, but I have these tools and techniques and all of my years of research and practice where I see the connection, how it all goes together. And when we start clearing your energy field, it's going to affect your body, it's going to affect your success. And of course, I'm a mindset expert, so we include a lot of that work in as well. But this is the starting point. It all starts here. You've got to get yourself in alignment. And you hear that every day. Embody the intention you want. Be in alignment with the desire that you have. What does that mean? It means mind, body, spirit. But if your mindset is so set in stone that no matter what you've done, you just can't attract the things you want to attract in your life. And by now, if you're over 40, it's definitely impacted your body and it's in your nervous system. And then spirit is like cut off. Because if your mind and your body are not in alignment and you don't get excited and joyful and grateful every single day of your life, you're going to disconnect from your higher power or God or the universe at large or the quantum field. You know, I'm very science-based, so you can say whatever you want. None of it will offend me. Okay? So I'm going to go over now to a clip to show you how I do it on my device. This device looks like a phone. It's actually a military phone, but it's not my cell phone. It's just a device I take to scan. And then we're going to go over to another clip that will show you the results from it. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a sample of how a scan works so you see what I see at my end. So, you know, I have all the information on myself in there, which would be my weight, my height, my birth date, and a photo of me. See me? So then what I would do, and this is what I'm doing in my offer, is I would do an easy scan, and then I would say start the scan, and then you're going to see when that goes down to 0, I'm going to do a voice sample. Hello, this is Tamara Dorris, and I am doing a voice sample so I can show people what a great benefit they get during my summer scanning special and see if they are okay. So it just stopped recording because it only needs 10 seconds. I always have people leave me 12 to 20 seconds so I can get a really good voice sample. You may not know this, but your voice is as unique as a snowflake and a thumbprint. You are the only person in the world that has your unique voice. So as you can see, it's scanning my voice and taking all the notes in. And what you might not know is when you are missing certain frequencies, well then, your energy will be off. And those frequencies are very, very much related to your health and your emotional well-being and your biofield. So it will go through all of this, but then the next thing it will do, and I'm not going to make this video go on and on and on, but the next thing it will do is it will start doing a vital scan. So the vital scan is this second thing right here. And as it does the vital scan, it will analyze my vital statistics. And when it gets about halfway through, it's going to go into optimization. So it's basically scanning my vitals, and then it will say, oh, this is off, let's boost this a little bit, and it will start optimizing what it finds off. Then it also does that for my comprehensive. Now the comprehensive, that gets down to your mitochondria, your nerve cells, your brain cells, things that I don't even know how to pronounce. I thought I knew a lot about health until I really got invested in this biofield studies, and it really, really goes deep down. Okay, so that is the basics. Now I'm going to show you what happens with the results. I want you to remember that in traditional radionics, all we use is a picture of you. I mean, we can use a hair sample or a blood spot, but at the end of the day, because most of the work I do and most of the work that most radionics masters do is remotely. And so, I mean, if you're working on a crop, you may have a soil sample, or you can just have the person that owns the crop, the farm, to take a picture, an aerial perspective or a regular perspective of the land that you want working on. So in traditional radionics, you don't need anything besides a target. With this device, I'm going to have your picture, I'm going to have your birth date, I'm going to have your weight, I'm going to have your height. That is enough in itself to know who you are. You're the person we're scanning, and you're the person that we're going to get feedback on, and you're the person that we're sending through the quantum field, that we're sending frequencies to. These optimize your energy field. But we add on the voice, and that's a whole new layer. That's a whole new level of goodness. So when we send your voice, and you do that like through a Facebook Messenger or a text audio message, when we do that and it goes through the device and it analyzes, as you just saw, it tells us what's missing. Remember, for all of ever, the voice has frequencies and the musical scale, right? And over time, emotions and toxins and stress and all trauma, all of these things take a toll. Well, now that we know, that toll shows up in our musical notes. I spend a lot of money being trained in something called voice bio, and I use it. I use it on clients sometimes, but it's more health related, and I'm not a doctor, so it's more energy health related. Anyway, what the 𝐄𝐏𝐄 scanner does is it takes your frequencies and your voice and it weighs it against this big database, and it's like, this person is a little short on this or that. So if you can look at the screen here, you'll see, in this file, here's what's going on. And what you'll get when you get this email from me is you'll get these tones. And these tones are not just meditative music that you should listen to and, oh, you'll feel better tomorrow. These are not generic. These are specifically targeted. What tones in the musical scale you are not exhibiting enough of? They are too low in your frequency. Do you get that? So you download these and you listen to them with earphones or earbuds or headphones 2 to 3 times a day. And when you do that, what'll happen is, like this example here, this is a C sharp. This is a regular C. So when I listen to these, it's raising that musical frequency in my body, in my emotions, and in my energy field. So these are very emotionally healing. Okay, that's what they do. They're emotionally healing. And let me tell you, your emotions are behind everything, every disease, every success, everything. So time to stop downplaying emotions. They have everything to do. Even if we put on a happy face, we're not happy, our body knows it. Our energy field knows it. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the other thing that happens after I run the scan, whoops, wrong program, after I run the scan on you, is I get this very comprehensive, confusing report. I'm not sending you this. I don't send you this. I used to do it and people got so confused. And you can see by looking at it, I mean, unless you're an acupuncturist, you're not going to necessarily know what a meridian is. And okay, let's see, my liver meridian's off. What does that mean? So you don't have to worry about this. This is stuff that I do on the back end. I mean, it gets really confusing. But here's what happens is I have the ability to put that report, to upload that report along with the report that comes back on your voice scan. And I put all 3 of those reports in my software and I say, tell me the highest priority for this person. I want to give them a succinct report so they know what came back. Analyze this report for me, these reports. Now, with this person, the high priority focus is on cardiovascular. And I've said it before, you'll hear me say it a lot because I want to make sure that I'm covering all my bases and don't get myself in trouble. Not a doctor, this isn't medical. In fact, this particular gentleman, let me start by saying with men, I find, and I do way more women than I do men, but I find with men, cardiovascular comes up quite a bit. And it's because I believe the way that men suppress emotions and they handle their emotions. Women have nervous system dysregulation quite a bit. And so for them, it's internalizing stress and always being in a constant state of fight or flight. It doesn't mean that men don't also, if you can see number 3 here, doesn't mean that men don't also have nervous system issues. It's just that they seem to carry it more in their heart. And I think that has to do with repressed emotions. Women are more emotional, so it just ends up in our gut. I'm just saying based on, hundreds and hundreds of client experiences. Okay. So it gives me the high focus area. Now I want to be really clear that, years ago here in Sacramento, when I was doing just pure health coaching before I was always in hypnotherapy, but I did a lot of wellness coaching. And I had 2 particular physicians here in Sacramento who I worked hand in hand with. In other words, they diagnosed, they did the blood workup, they did all that, but they would refer me to these clients because they knew that, well, they know even now, most doctors, I would hope, know that all disease and illness has an emotional component. Whether or not they recognize that it's an energetic component and deals with frequencies, I don't know. But I do know that most medical doctors who are worth their weight in white lab coats understand that emotions are behind 90% of all illnesses and diseases. So I don't try to play doctor. What I do is, in this case, this gentleman has a naturopath. He has a naturopath that he goes to, and the naturopath orders the bloods. He does, I mean, the labs, he does all that. I just do the scans, and then I work with him in a coaching capacity. I do the frequency work, and he shows these reports once a month. He shows these reports to his naturopath. But we work through the emotional part. Maybe we do EFT or hypnotherapy. But this gives me insight, and it also gives his naturopath insight. So here is what we know his high priority focuses are, according to his scan. Then the emotional and the energetic, I crossed off his name here. It says that he's been suppressing the note of F sharp and G. Well, so those were two, you get four, but those were two of the notes that would have come through with his scan. And so his homework will be to listen to those, all four of those notes for the next month, 2 to 3 times a day, and that will help balance out his emotions. Remember, emotions are everything. This cardio issue, all emotional suppression. So that's where the tones are so important. Then the reports will also give us some holistic and lifestyle suggestions. And again, most of these are not anything that are diagnosing medicine. Magnesium is a supplement. It's over the counter. It's just a recommendation. Of course, I would say run it by your doctor or your naturopath. Same thing with herbs. Run it by your healthcare practitioner if you have one. That's totally fine. But most of these things are very natural. Breath work, walking barefoot in nature, movement, exercise, all of these things are just very, very basic. Now, when I do these for women, I will ask the software to give me back, 10 to 20 affirmations for what their specific, unique report said would help them. And that's because women are much more open to affirmations, and I might have some other little love notes that I add in here. Again, this is a report for a gentleman who's not really into affirmations or journaling. And then all of the reports will end with this disclaimer. This tool is for educational purposes only. I am not a medical doctor. So I want to just reiterate, I want to reiterate for you, when the scan is going on, you are getting optimized. So you are getting treated, not medically, but energetically. You are getting frequencies sent to you that optimize where it shows on the device that you are low. So that's one thing you get. The second thing you get are the tones that help you emotionally balance things out. And the third thing you get is this report that analyzes all of the results of your scan. Okay, it analyzes them. It says, this is what this person should probably pay attention to. Not medical, but do emotions and energy and frequency affect your physical health? Absolutely. So I'm not a medical doctor, but I am an energy practitioner. I am a frequency expert, and I'm a mindset expert. And so after that, you're done. You can be done. Now, if you want to stretch it out, I will tell you right now that you are more than welcome to come back and have a monthly scan and a session that goes with it. You only get the original introduction price one time. That's the investment. And you get that and you can run with it. And you don't ever need to talk to me again if you don't want to. But you can also sign up for one of my programs where you're like, okay, I want to sign up for 3 months of treatment, energetic treatment, remember. Or I want to work with you in a coaching capacity. So we can do the scans and you can optimize me and send me the frequencies, once a month, or I meet with you twice a month or whatever. And we actually do work on your suppressed emotions. We do EFT work, we do hypnotherapy. Or maybe you're one of my tribe and you want to build an abundant business and you want to get this energy and frequency stuff in the package. You can join Magnetic Marketing, my group program, or my private practice program, where you have access to the whole online I mean, it's like a universe. Like you have so many videos to do, and you have other things. We do Friday lives, we do all sorts of things. So you have so many options to work with me, but start with this scan. Because listen, no matter how big of a business you want to build, or no matter how much vitality you want to add into your life, so you can expand your life, increase your energy, whatever it is, it all starts with your emotions and your energy field. It all starts there, no matter what. Energy informs matter. So if you want more abundance and you don't have it, it's not just mindset, it's mind, body, spirit. So I hope you take advantage of this really, really great sale. I hope that this spoke to you in some way, and I would love the opportunity to work for you. Okay, have a great day. See you next time.